Finally, yeah, everything's going. All the stuff is being notified. Everything's taking place.
Sounds
So,
like
good evening, everybody. This is how long has it been?
probably been close to a month at this point.
Okay, so like a month since we last did our show. I guess what Charles would call, I guess our vacation, our little break before season 2.
Yeah,
So
we basically renegotiated some salaries here.
yeah, so we are now in season 2 of our show. I guess our second year here, and we decided to make this one a nice and extra special show, being our football extravaganza. So, are we on? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're on.
Okay, our football extravaganza, where we will discuss the NFL, college football,
The XFL.
the XFL, maybe even the CFL if we even get to it. See what the heck is going up in good old crazy Canada up there.
I'm hoping that our good friend Freddie will pop in because he is, or BU actually, the two of them know quite a bit about the CFL, definitely more than us.
So, I guess what can we start with? What can we start with the show with? Because we got NCAA football '09 on the Wii on display here.
And just as a note, we're going to be absolutely terrible at this because we're playing with the typical Wii remote, the Wii Mote.
So, yeah, this is something new. We have no idea what the heck is going to happen. And all right, so what can we start with? We can start with our hopes and dreams for this season. I guess to start for well, let's say our allegiances first. For me, college football, Florida State. And of course, secondary and tertiary, I would say, would be FIU and FAU. Those are the schools that I went to, and unfortunately, I cheer for the Dolphins. And I'm all ready for the tank this season.
For me, my primary is UCF, where I went to undergrad. My secondary is FIU, where I went to law school. My tertiary is Tulsa, because that was where I was born. And that's going to be very interesting because UCF and Tulsa play each other this year. Although, really, that doesn't mean anything to me because I'm obviously cheering for UCF 100%. For pro football, the Jaguars, I guess. I really couldn't care. Well, I could care less, somewhat. But I don't really have an established team because I'm from Orlando and there really isn't a team there, and I never really jumped on board with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Someone has to be a Jaguars fan, yep.
Okay.
Although my original reason for liking the Jaguars is now over in Los Angeles, Blake Bortles. And he seems to be doing well. A lot of people are jokingly saying there's a quarterback controversy. There's not. But he's doing well, so hopefully he'll do like a year or two in LA, get better, and then he can become a starting quarterback elsewhere. That's the hope.
Mm-hmm.
Because he definitely has the talent to do it. He just the quarterbacks.
I mean,
the coaches in Jacksonville suck. Everyone knows that.
okay.
Just saying.
All right, fine. I'll give you the. I'll let you have it. All right, Charles. What about you?
All right, I mean, for college, it's the convict University of Miami, and that's more so because I've lived in Miami for so long. Well, long enough compared to all the other areas in Florida that actually had colleges. I don't have really a secondary or tertiary because FAU and FIU are not programs I chose to spend my money on. No offense to anybody's loyalties. I mean, good for them if they succeed. I'm afraid that if FAU or FIU succeed in any kind of program building there, they would charge additional monies to their law school, and future law students don't need that issue. And then for professional football, I'm a Tennessee Titans fan. So as Francisco is waiting for Tankathon 2020, or I guess 2019, I'm waiting for, 9 and 7 fourth year in a row, trying to pray that Marcus Mariota gets healthy, or I'm going to be praying to Ryan Tannehill to be our stable quarterback for the remainder of the season. And that's kind of like a, monkey's paw kind of wish right there.
Well, he's actually not looked so bad in the preseason.
He hasn't. But, it's still preseason. And when you're coming out as the second unit, everyone to make you look good. But both guys have health issues, and Mario's about accuracy problems, and Tannehill's
Whoops!
just
Hold on a
being
second.
out of rhythm.
I put the cheat codes, and I'm winning 126-0 right now. So you would never have beaten me.
I would never win.
Nope.
Who modded this game? I think EA Sports modded it.
Oh gosh. All right, let me fix that up. All right.
Free DLC.
Well,
isn't that kind of an oxymoron? Free DLC.
free.
At least
DLC used to be free.
I know. At
It
least
used to
these
be
days.
free.
At least these days, it's an oxymoron.
Like-
Thanks, EA.
Well, EA, Activision, Ubisoft, all of them, frickin' screwed us over. I mean, but whatever. Anyways, I don't know what's the first topic y'all want to talk about?
I don't know. Since we have BU here, well, I don't know. We should go to I guess we should do the breaking news of the day, which is the introduction of the team names and logos over in the XFL.
Okay, all right, we can do that while I'm setting this up here. Let's go on to our search screen here, our lovely search screen, brand new for this episode. All right, so it's not even the X doesn't even mean anything in XFL, does it?
Not anymore, although it never actually did. People thought it meant like extreme or something, but it really didn't. It was just X for some reason. The X Football League, which actually after 1 year it did become the X Football League. But
All right, so we need our resident Vince McMahon expert here, Charles. What do you? Why now? Why the timing now for Vince McMahon?
Because the time is now. As the pressure in the wrestling world, for those who are now coming in back to our season premiere, and also past listeners and new listeners, I have kind of a weird relation with Vince McMahon. We're kind of tied together till we die. It's kind of like Captain America and Red Skull, sucking at into that battle. For the last 20 years, I've just been trying to figure out what that man, the boss, has been doing. The XFL for in the past around circa 2000, and it bombed. It bombed terribly. But I guess you know what they say: you fall off that horse, get back up on that horse, right? So Vince decided to sell some of his shares, a good amount of his shares, in the WWE to refinance, rebuild the concept of the XFL and his other sports conglomerate. This led to a trickle-down effect of Ebersol, NBC, and a few other guys who were basically saying, we're going to beat you to the punch, and led to the creation of the AAF, American Alliance of Football, or Alliance of American Football. And we all know how that turned. Thank you. See, it's not even important enough to remember. But I guess there wasn't really an alliance to save him, huh? Gondor's not getting your day today, huh? Sorry. So the time is now because Vince is looking for February 2020 to release it. They have 8 cities, 8 locations, and today they released the logo and team names. Some of them pretty cool, some of them meh, unimaginative. And the reason why, my sneaky suspicion of why the time is now to kind of get on going is for 2 reasons. One, NXT, the tertiary wrestling program, is now going to USA for a 2-hour live stream instead of going on the WWE Network to combat against AEW, All Elite Wrestling, head by Tony Khan, son of Shad Khan, owner of Jacksonville Jaguars. And the second reason why Vince would do this, so he's going to kind of focus his things back to football to go back to it. And the second thing, and I think the most obvious reason, is that the AAF failed. And if the AAF failed because they tried to be too much of the goody two-shoes and, having the nose so far up the behind of the NFL, saying, we want to make this developmental league. Not going to be unique at all. We're going to be boring. The XFL saying, screw that. Screw them. We know you still want some football. Let me give you some stuff where we're going to have 3 points, 4-point plays. Hell, maybe we'll go 7-point plays down the line. We're actually going to have real quarterbacks that because listen, I'm not saying that Landry Jones or Ryan Mallett are anything up to snuff, but I at least know who they are. These are guys who actually started professional football games and were on the practice squad, staying on the practice squad, being used for scouting practice squad, and the only claim they think they have is they played themselves in Madden in a franchise mode and won a Super Bowl there. So it was the perfect timing of the storm that kind of came in. And today, to release the logos and guys, I gotta say, for me, them Dallas Renegades and the St. Louis Battlehawks looking pretty good. And I do agree with BFL sounds pretty good too. But I don't know if we can get an outside investor as well.
All right, so let's.
Although I will say this, I want you to pull up the side-by-side of Seattle's logo and UAB's logo.
Okay, well let's go through the logos and the names first, and then we'll give our criticisms for them after that. So we got sportslogos.net up. So Chris Creamer, we love his website, and we're going to use it to review these logos here.
He's the god of sports logos.
Dallas Renegades. So that's Charles's favorite right there.
It looks cool, man. Looks like Red Dead Redemption, except they have the little, bandito going on.
I gotta say, well, first off, I love the color scheme. I don't think that sky blue is used that much.
I'll tell you one thing. I think a theme of all the logos is they have good color schemes.
I agree.
Yep.
I like the name. That's my big thing is... that sucks, Freddie. Oh, well. Well, if you are able to join us at some point, let us know, because we're going to touch briefly, or at some point we want to touch on CFL. I know you and BU are the experts here. So, I like the Renegades. My big thing is, I think with new leagues, generally the names are pretty terrible. Fred Rank will rate his ISP number last. For those who don't know, Freddie has his own ranking system. It's
right.
Computer modeling and whatever. So Fred Rank is... and
okay,
Saskatchewans would still find a way to complain about it.
Finish your thought.
I like the name, I like the color, and it's a clean and simple logo. It's not too flashy. It gets the job done. And
yeah.
It almost looks like the state of Texas a little bit if you think about it. I mean, not exactly.
Oh, wow. I mean, they could have... It would have been pretty cool if they had done something like that. Or at least an alternate logo with it.
They certainly could have.
Because like almost all the Texas teams have like a Texas outline logo, like the Dallas Stars and the Texas Rangers, the Houston Astros. I think they used to have one, but not anymore. Okay, yeah, the bottom of it looks like the tip of the south of Texas. The left looks kind of like West Texas. Yeah, it kind of does look like Texas logo. That's an astute observation. Okay,
I try.
The name is all right. I think it's, it sounds very XFL-y, but I mean, it matches.
I've heard a lot worse from expansion leagues.
All right, so now here's one that I do not like: the DC Defenders.
It's too bland.
Yeah.
It's like a football team. Yeah.
Defenders is in its name, but I'm not a big fan of the logo.
The logo is very generic, very, I don't know. They paid somebody on one of those logo websites.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have come up with something better than this. And I don't say that lightly. I can probably come up with something better than this and make it myself. So.
And honestly, I know you could. Because you came up with a Panthers logo that was more or less identical to what they ended up coming with.
But a Marvel attempts to sue believing DC Comics tried to take the Defender's name. Oh, did y'all hear about Sony and Disney? They couldn't get the Spider-Man.
No,
it's stupid.
Money talks.
I love the memes that people brought out afterwards, like about Uncle Ben, like, oh, we're about to see Uncle Ben die for the 4th time. Oh gosh. Well. Oh well.
Right, let's move on to the Houston Roughnecks. I like this logo.
It's the Houston Oilers logo.
basically. And I guess in that way, they did a good job with their logo. So
Aren't the Titans wearing Oilers logos this year? Like as a throwback?
They're having a callback. Yeah,
Okay.
they always do a throwback.
Yeah, okay. So they are.
Yeah. I don't like the Roughnecks because it looked like a hybrid between the Astros, even the Angels logo.
That's
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It basically looks like they cut off the A and they just kind of fonted it a little bit like the Houston Astros. It's sloppy. Plus, Roughneck. You know, we're from
It
Florida,
means
so our
something.
kind of hillbilly is different than
Yeah.
the good old boy hillbilly.
Yeah, I don't.
Let's see what a roughneck is.
I like the callback to the Oilers, but I don't like the name. Because I don't see Roughnecks in the Oilers logo of this logo. Like they show the freaking oil drilling machine here, and it has nothing.
Apparently,
Is Roughneck a white guy in overalls?
a roughneck is a person whose occupation is hard manual labor.
Okay.
It applies across a number of industries, but is most commonly associated with the workers on a drilling rig.
Okay. Well.
Although I will say, they are not very imaginative because there's already, well, I guess the Tulsa Oilers, Evanston Oilers, I don't know, but there's a semi-pro soccer team in Oklahoma City called, no, isn't it in Tulsa? It's one of those, called the Roughnecks.
Well, it makes
What you're
sense
trying
in
to
Oklahoma.
accomplish with that, though.
Yeah.
Tulsa Roughnecks, and it has almost an identical logo.
Okay. And then we've got. All right. I like the logo. I just wish it was paired with the. I mean, I guess Roughnecks is fine, but it just feels very minor league. It feels very minor league.
Yeah.
I would say. I mean, and I don't know if they're trying to be a minor league or they're not. I don't know what's.
I will say also that the Houston reference is a little bit on the nose, with the H in a different color. One of my favorite logos of all time is the Hartford Whalers.
Right.
That has so many things going on. It's got the whale tail, it has the W, and then in the negative space between those, you have an H. That is beautiful work.
Yeah.
So this one is kind of, Hamburger Club kind of mascot. We'll have to get to mascot names in a little bit because the Sun Bowl has a new name.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit on the nose. It would have been cool if it was a bit more, like even the Vegas Golden Knights. The visor on the helmet is in the shape of a V.
Right.
Kind of on the nose, but not so much. This is like, we want you to know we are Houston.
Okay. Next, we've got the LA Wildcats.
Lazy.
Yes. There's only so many ways you can put LA in a logo, you know.
That is not what I'm so concerned about. It's not that
I like
bad.
the color scheme.
I like the color scheme.
I mean, I guess
That's
Looks
true.
like USC.
it looks like the Miami Heat.
Do you? I think it looks like USC colors.
Yeah.
Well, someone pointed out that we'll get to them in a minute, but Tampa uses the same colors as their semi-pro team, the Rowdies, and USF. Sorry, South Florida. I have to call them that. It's just the way it is. Yeah, Wildcats. I know that is that is such. There's probably at least a dozen. At least a dozen teams.
Yeah, my elementary school was the Wildcats. Yeah. You know, it's such a generic name. Like,
oh god,
we need out of all these teams, we need one of them to be of a cat of some sort.
Right.
We can't use lions. We can't really use tigers. The freaking Hamilton Tiger Cats used a weird name. All right, we'll go with Wildcats. It could have been Bobcats. It could have been. They could have gone with like Cougars or Mountain Lions or I don't know.
even Panthers.
I don't even think of. I don't think of Wildcats for Los Angeles though.
Sabretooth would have been fine. Put a little edge into it.
Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, there might be Wildcats outside of Los Angeles, but I don't consider Los Angeles like a. That's where Wildcats are. You know?
Yeah, they could have come up with something better than that. That's no imagination whatsoever.
Let's see, what's their... Hold on, in the land of bright lights, far from flash and fame, they've already begun to prowl. Enter their den and be dominated. Run away and be ripped apart. This is prime time meets primal instinct. This is showtime with a snarl. This is our time to roar. The LA Wildcats, unleashed.
Okay, Homer, calm down with your honesty tale.
Okay, and, well, two things. One, all of the teams have these really, really... I don't know what a word is for it. Really cheesy intros.
Poetic?
So that's one. And then two, there's kind of a contradiction in the the first two sentences. In the land of bright lights, which is fame and all that jazz. But then, far from the flash and fame. What are you? Are you in the flash and fame, or are you not in the flash and fame? Make your mind up.
Okay, let's go down, and hold on, let me get this play off here. Let's see, we'll at least get something on the screen going there. Okay, nothing happened. All right, next, the New York Guardians. I really like this logo.
I do like this logo.
Wow.
What is it? Is it an ape, or is it like a tiger?
It looks like some sort of big cat, like a lion of some sort.
It's a gargoyle.
Some people say, oh, is that what they officially are saying? It's a gargoyle?
They're saying it's a gargoyle.
Okay,
that's awesome.
That's great.
Even better.
You need Goliath from the show. That's all I'm saying.
And not just that, but New York City is known for its known for a lot of Gothic architecture, which includes gargoyles, which you would know if you've seen shows like
Gargoyles,
or like Ghostbusters. That's a prime point at one point. Is the gargoyles in there?
Oh, okay. Oh, that's very satisfying.
Hearing the.
Well, no, throwing the football to actually throw the football.
Oh.
That's an incredibly satisfying feeling. I'm actually playing this a little bit, but I love the color scheme. It's very unique.
Yeah.
It's like a dark gray, silver, and red, with the negative space in the background, so you can use it. You can invert it. You can do whatever with it.
Yeah.
So. It's great. New York Guardians, good job. All right, next, St. Louis Battle Hawks.
First off, that is a badass name.
Yeah.
Bad it.
Logo is not bad either.
I like the combining of two things that are pretty awesome. Battle and Hawks.
Like Tiger Cats.
Right. Well, no, that's just saying the same thing twice. Okay? All right, Hamilton, get your crap together.
Although I'm sure BU's...
It's not like Cincinnati who has the Bearcats,
Right.
Okay, bear and cat, whatever.
Although I can tell you the story behind that name, but I'll save that for another day.
All right.
Although I'm sure BU's going to come in and say, which is absolutely true, the Tiger Cats are two teams that were merged together. One was called the Tigers, and the other was the Cats or something. So they just became the Tiger. See, I told you.
All right, there it is. Wow, you are on point. But okay, as far as this logo, okay, a sword with wings.
The Flying Wildcats, very cool.
I kind of wish they had gone Pokemon Sword and Shield on us with this, with a hawk with the sword in its mouth or something,
I think it's cool. It's different. If they actually have full-fledged mascots that do something fun with it, because I just need like you said, Francisco, I need some big-ass looking bird with a long sword, Game of Thrones style, chopping stuff down.
Okay, so St. Louis, and then they're in a market that doesn't have a football team, so they might actually do okay. Next, the Seattle Dragons, and this is a point of contention for Andrew.
Pull up the logo.
All right, so the logo's up. It's a pretty well-made logo.
It is.
It looks like a dragon. I actually think it looks better than the UAB logo. I think it does.
I can see that.
I like if UAB had redesigned the logo, it probably would have looked like that.
That's true.
But the Seattle Dragons. No, I'm surprised there aren't many dragons in professional sports. There's not like in any of them, any of the big four. There's no
that's
dragons.
True. Although I wonder what this is going to do to the naming of Seattle's NHL team.
Well, a lot of people are still hoping for Kraken.
Which would be badass. I'm not sure if it would fit in well with the NHL.
I mean, okay, as far as fitting in well with the NHL, we've got a myriad of... We have a team named that for frickin' maple syrup. So, I could see Kraken being up there, but... Alright, whatever. But the color scheme is nice. Orange and green. Not many green teams, so...
No.
So it's very nice to see, but...
I do like a team that uses green.
So, but the UAB logo looks like it, according to you. Well, actually, according to a lot of people. But, hold on, why are they calling it dragons? Because I don't think of Seattle as dragons. Rising from the turbulent sea, beneath the darkening skies of their weather-hardened home. Relentless, ruthless, ravenous, not of mythology, but of muscle and might. Not to folklore, but to football. This is your darkest fantasy, in cleats. The Seattle Dragons, breathing fire.
I feel like darkest fantasy could be co-opted.
You know what would have been cool? If the freaking NHL team had named themselves the Dragons and had a rivalry with the Golden Knights.
That'd be awesome. Oh my god, that would be awesome.
That would have been cool.
That would be awesome.
Alright.
I guess they couldn't think of anything else. I said consummate V's.
And of course, Chris Kramer has or UAB here on his.
Yeah, seriously, pull it up. You'll see what I'm talking about.
I'll pull it up after we get through all of them. But
okay.
All right. Any other thoughts on the Dragons before I move on?
I'm good with it.
Right? Okay. All right. Tampa Bay Vipers. So this is our Florida team. Vince McMahon did not make the mistake of putting a team in Orlando. Because that spells doom for all football leagues.
I think it's fair to say at this point that Orlando is the town where pro football leagues go to die. The USFL, the UFL, and the AAF, and the XFL have all had teams in Orlando, and all of them have failed miserably. Although the USFL had a good shot, but watch the documentary, The 30 for 30, and it'll tell you why it failed. Anyway, back to the current Florida team.
Hold on. First off, are there Vipers in Tampa?
I'm not sure if they're Vipers, but there are a decent amount of snakes anywhere here in Florida.
Right, but I'm just trying to make let's say what's a water moccasin? I'm gonna look this up right now. Yeah, a water moccasin is a pit viper. So, okay,
yeah.
So technically we do have vipers in Florida, and I would say that there would be some around Tampa Bay. So the name checks out. Perfect. The colors also check out, green and yellow.
Yeah, well, as I mentioned,
of course the A's look great in it. So
yeah, I love green and yellow can work.
No, actually, I didn't like it on the Oakland Seals for some reason, but
I don't know. Green and yellow can work. I'm inclined to say that green and gold does not work because that's what South Florida uses.
I see. All right.
But, I didn't realize this when I was first looking at the Vipers logo. You see the fangs.
Right.
I didn't realize that initially. That's pretty cool.
Oh, I thought you would notice that. That's like the first thing.
I know. I noticed the shape of Texas, but I didn't notice that.
Right.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And look at the description. In the shadows they wait, demons born in darkness, hunters by instinct, cold-blooded by nature, their bite unavoidable, their grip inescapable. They slither and stalk their competition, luring all who challenge them into the jaws of defeat. The Tampa Bay Vipers, ready to strike. Do you think Vince McMahon wrote these, Charles?
Listen, I'm telling you right now, the Tampa Bay Vipers is based off of Randy Orton, the Apex Predator, the man known as the Viper from WWE, 14-time world heavyweight champion, about to become 15-time world heavyweight champion against his match with Kofi Kingston and Clash of Champions, who is known for the RKO, which is one of the most gift-worthy YouTube streaming fun thing to do. When you're with your friends, you want to host it, RKO's out of nowhere, man.
Do you know what
deadliest move?
Do you know what needs to happen? The first
Every time there's a touchdown, it needs to be an RKO.
Exactly.
Oh.
At least the first touchdown. I'm not sure how long they could get away with every touchdown, but definitely the first
every
one.
touchdown, because it's apropos. If it was anything, if it was AAF, it's lame. This is a Vince McMahon baby who clearly named it out the guy who has been money for him. He was in Rated RKO. He was in Evolution. He had Legacy. Now he's teaming up with the Revival. It was a homage. I'm surprised they weren't known as if they had a Boston team, we'd call the Boston John Cena.
Well,
Granted,
that would actually
Randy's from Missouri.
That would actually not be a good idea because then they just wouldn't appear at any of their games.
Well, they're there. You just can't see them.
Oh gosh.
They would just call them the Boston Invisibles, and everybody would get it.
Okay. All right, so that's the XFL. When do they start? When's their season start?
As they make it
February.
They make it extremely clear it's February 2020. They said it in all 8 of the intro videos.
Oh, really? Okay.
It was like Tampa Bay. It was ready to strike February 2020. They did that with every single one of their videos. Week after this season's Super Bowl. Isn't that? I think that's when the AAF did theirs as well.
When
was the week after the Super Bowl?
Yeah, something like that. So I mean, it's the spring is when they want these leagues to happen because people are so starved for. But people are betting on preseason, and apparently people bet more on preseason NFL than they do for regular season Major League Baseball at this time.
Really?
Yeah, there's more people betting money on that.
Guess it makes sense.
You can get any edge. People are doing it. So, ready?
Ready.
Oh, that's so satisfying. I can't get over it. Why wasn't this control scheme continued, Nintendo? All right. Well, technically the Switch has motion controls too, but
what I don't get is I don't know how to block the ball because if I tackle you, it's going to be pass interference.
interesting. Okay, so all right, guys. What's another topic we want to talk about on this? Our football. We talked about the XFL, given all of our time to that. Charles hopes Vince McMahon puts all of his time and energy on that from now on, and doesn't touch the WWE for a while.
Hold on a second. How do I pause?
Pause. Plus. Okay. What do you want to do?
I just want to see what the
Charles are? Okay, so that's our XFL coverage. College football. What's the storyline you guys are following for this season?
You want to start, Charles?
Yeah, I'll jump into this one. I mean, you have your local stuff and you have the national page. So for local, for me, is just UM. They announced Karen Williams is going to be their starting quarterback.
Yeah, that was actually people were like very surprised down here.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not very surprised. They say that he has the best arm of all the guys. And you've seen what Martell has. You've seen what N'Kosi Perry has had. You know.
Well, this is the thing. Tate Martell was a transfer from Ohio State.
Right.
So there was a lot of momentum on this. Plus, he has a super hot sister. Hit me up, girl. It's okay. Please don't. I'm going to get killed by so many people. Don't do this. Nah. But he came in as a transfer, known to be the potential, because N'Kosi Perry had his opportunities. Really was just kind of forced there by Mark Richt with Malik Rozier as the opposition. I always felt that Rick just probably gave up because Rozier was not ill-equipped, but you knew what we were getting out of him to be the starter compared to N'Kosi Perry, who was scattered, erratic, and it showed through. I think he's a redshirt sophomore at this point. Martell had that momentum coming in, It's just he never really had a lot of tape. And then Jaron Williams, I think it was picked because maybe he had the best arm, maybe he looked best in practice. But as long as Manny Diaz can kind of tailor that offense to not be anemic, because this is not a team that has many of their dominant guys from a couple years ago in that time period. There's a lot of pseudo no names there. I mean, some people are going to be like, Jaron Williams showed up in one game. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're working. I'll give you some names, and let me tell you if they raise your eyebrows because they don't raise mine. D.J. Davis, this is your starting lineup for against the Gators. Jeff Thomas, KJ Osborne. The biggest name that comes out of it is Michael Irvin II. So that's right.
Mm-hmm.
We're hoping a little bit of magic rubs off there, right? It's our issue has always kind of been the anemic offense, and then pooping ourselves in our pants when it came to bigger teams that were more offensively suited to be fast-paced. And in college, if you can't score and your opposition is a fast-scoring team, you're just dead in the water if your defense doesn't play well. So we have a couple of returning guys there, so it's like, okay, maybe there's some potential. But like I said, if you ask me, Charles, predictions right now, I'm like, we'd be very lucky to win 6 games. I'm a realistic person. I take that with almost every team except for the Yankees, where excellence is not good enough. You need World Series rings. Every other sport, you come down to earth a little bit. Then more on the national base is that Clemson came in at the top dog, which is not surprising. I felt some people wanted to focus on Bama being top dog again, but you got to remember, not only did you lose Josh Jacobs, you also lost Damian Harris, and the guy that was projected to be a starter at your running back, whose name I forgot because I don't care for Bama because they're going to get easy cruise control to the finals most of the times. He had a knee injury and then he had to get surgery. But I mean, I gotta tell you, after last year's BCS title game against Clemson, you want to tank for Tua, but Tua I don't think is worth tanking for, man.
Oh no, that's actually that's one of my headlines. Well, that's nationally what I'm following too, because I'm a Dolphins fan and we are projected to be awful this season unless Rosen shows some promise. But
that's not happening.
I think that really I'm looking at from Georgia.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm looking for somebody more traditional as far as a quarterback is concerned.
Well,
from that guy from Oregon, Herbert.
Yeah.
Like I want the Dolphins, if we're going to do this, if the Dolphins are really going to actually do this tanking for real, and they better do it right like the Marlins are doing it, go for something pretty safe with regards to that. Tua, his injury history, I don't want the Dolphins to be coming back and doing what the Arizona Cardinals basically just did.
Right.
Drafting 2 quarterbacks top with the first round pick in a row. But UM. I've been listening to frickin' Sports Talk Radio for the last month down here, and they're all talking about the Hurricanes. But it's a transition year. Manny Diaz is going to get his guys there. I think that's probably one of the reasons why he chose the quarterback that he did. He's going to pick a guy, freshman, and it's going to be his guy. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be any scraps from Ohio State or from the previous regime, So I think that's what he wants to leave his mark on his team. And if hey, this quarterback works out for him, that's great. But if not, he's got the next recruiting class.
Yeah.
And he's gonna it's gonna be he's gonna have 3 or 4 seasons, I would say, to get his entire class go through.
And he has about 4, and it's just very tough to get the proper quarterback, especially when you're a defensive-minded coach for your college thing, because how do you want to play him? Tate Martell plays differently than N'Kosi Perry, plays differently than Jaron Williams. Do you want a speed guy? Do you want a guy who just runs? Do you want a guy who's just accurate? Do you have the receivers even to deal with a guy who's going to be an option player? There are intricacies to college football. It's not like, professional football, which we'll get to later, of course, where you can just trade for a guy to see if he can keep you from being mediocre to help you be average. If you don't recruit the right guys, especially since there is no preseason, what you get is from what you get in practice, and a lot of it's gut instinct, that's going to derail losing in the NFL You just pay some money, get some high, free agents coming in, right? High-paid free agents makes a difference. Losing in college football means no one wants to get recruited to your program of the 4 or 5 star range.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it can take a while for you to get out of a hole in college football.
Definitely. And the thing is, once you get going, like Alabama, you can just keep running forever. Like, Alabama right now is the New England Patriots of college football, and they will be for the foreseeable future at this point. Whoops. I did a run play. I forgot that I did.
Gosh. I mean, look at Florida State. They were on top of the world for a few seasons, and then Jameis goes, and Jimbo's heart is not in anymore, and all of a sudden, we're in the crapper. But in college football, your name can take you a long way. So
Definitely.
there's still going to be kids that want to go to Florida State because of that history.
Case in point,
Which
Nebraska.
For some
They're
reason.
ranked 25th in the AP poll. They have won 8 games over the last 2 years. How are they ranked 25th?
I have no idea.
Scott Frost effect, baby.
I know.
Still was a mistake that he left.
We'll see. Give him a couple of years.
Okay.
I mean, we're doing fine without him.
And I haven't even followed the Seminoles, to be honest, at all. What do you know about the Seminoles, Andrew? I have no idea.
They are.
Are we projected to be awful again?
Come on.
Or at least be okay. This is
not really. There's not a lot of hope.
I mean, this is Willie Taggart's second season, so hopefully something.
The thing with Willie Taggart is he has advanced up the ladder because of a couple of good seasons. Overall, he hasn't been that good. We know that firsthand at UCF because he was USF's coach previous to being. No, that's not true. He was at USF, then he went to Oregon, and then he went to FSU after 1 year. So we've seen him firsthand, so we know what he's all about.
Nice. All right. Perfect. I actually stopped you. Okay, so I should just not follow the Seminoles at all this season, is what you're saying. So I can...
I mean, they can always... College football is interesting. You can always surprise. Like, UCF went from 0-12 to 13-0 in 2 seasons.
No!
Yeah!
Oh!
Woo! Went for it on 4th down and got it.
Okay. Get up and celebrate. Okay, you can...
Ready to celebrate. Let's see how this goes.
Andrew is he's playing the cheerleader right now. Almost there. I don't know what's gonna... And what happened here? Tulsa stats increased.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, no! He got double the points. Oh, no, you got a touchdown. I thought you got a field goal. I was about to say, I'm like, first off, okay, but your stats increase. So what is, I don't know, maybe you have a better
I guess it means that,
players?
I don't know, I guess it's like a stat boost.
So it's like a Mario type of thing. Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's see, what is...
should I talk about, give my thoughts?
Yeah.
Well, I'll start.
And you have a lot of thoughts.
Yes, I do.
So you of course, those of you who don't know, Andrew, our resident college football expert here, and a mod at RCFB. So
I've been around a lot of people.
So you can actually carry us for a lot of this conversation, but yeah.
I'll start with what I know best, which is UCF.
Okay, so
big thing
your local
is-
headlines.
Local headlines. The big thing is going to be how UCF deals without Mackenzie Milton for an entire season.
Oh, that's right. He destroyed his leg.
For those who don't know, I'll post it elsewhere. I don't remember the full extent of the injury, but he had an injury so severe that people will die from it in the battlefield if they're not close. I know that's a huge extreme, but it's an injury where there's a legitimate fear of leg amputation
Oh, dear Lord.
or death.
Well, then.
He was very fortunate. He happened to be just a couple of miles away from a level 1 trauma center. So he got there about as fast as you possibly can. It was extremely lucky. If it had happened in, let's say, Greenville, North Carolina, which is kind of a small town, the outcome could have been a lot worse. Well, look it up because I can't.
Oh no, I'm looking it up right now.
Don't play the video, please.
No, I'm not going to play the video, but I'm going to.
That would be like rather take a concussion than a chopped leg. If it was your first concussion, probably, because you can sort of recover from that, but you can't really recover from a chopped leg. So right now, the presumed number 1 quarterback was KZ's backup last year, who was Darrell Mack Jr. But he broke his ankle during preseason this year. So there's not giving an exact timetable and when he will return, but the prognosis is good. Oh, and let me just revert back to KZ really quick. There is actually a legitimate chance that he could play in 2020, which is absolutely unbelievable because no one expected him to be recovering this well. He's walking on his own power right now without crutches, albeit in a boot. It's been an unbelievable recovery process from him, which pretty much no one expected him to do.
I'm reading the frickin' what they had to do to save him. They had to take an artery from his left leg and sew it into his right. Dear Lord.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It was not pretty. It is basically a miracle that he is able to walk under his own power right now. He started walking on his own, I think, in April, and the injury happened in late November. So December, January, February, March, about 5 months.
Dear Lord.
This is defying all medical reason that he should be walking. Not those Fansville commercials again.
Oh, yeah. All these websites, this is why we have our ad blockers on all the time. Because of annoying things like that.
Yep.
Just popping up out of nowhere. But yeah, I mean, okay. So, but it's looking like, when he's going to return?
Yeah.
Next year?
Next year, yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's no chance of him coming back this
Okay.
year. So let me go to the present.
Mm-hmm.
So Darrell Mack Jr. was supposed to be the number 1, but he broke his ankle. Not sure when he's going to come back, but a lot of people think it'll be sometime this season in the first half of the year. So now the quarterback battle is between Brandon Wimbush, who transferred in, who's a grad transfer from Notre Dame, and true freshman, I forget his name, I think it's Dylan Gabriel. There's a legitimate chance that Gabriel could be the number 1 quarterback as a true freshman. Now, interesting note, he went to the same high school as Mackenzie Milton.
So, does this bode well for his legs, or?
I think it bodes
Is it
well.
Hawaiian Punch?
What's that?
Is he a Hawaiian Punch? Because isn't Mackenzie from Hawaii too?
Maybe. Although, to your point earlier, he is a left-handed quarterback.
Oh, so you don't want him in the pros? Gotcha.
Well, Steve Young was left-handed.
Yeah, Steve Young's the anomaly here. He's the outlier.
So we'll see. There's a lot of offensive power returning for UCF, which should be good. They should be fine on offense. Defense, not so sure. So we'll see how that turns out. But they still have a lot of people coming back, but they have lost a few people, mainly in the defensive line and the linebacker positions. Moving on, FIU. They're looking good. They have a great coach in Butch Jones. Or is it Butch Davis? I think it's Butch Jones.
Butch Davis.
Is it Butch Davis?
For FIU, yes. Former Hurricanes coach.
Yeah. He got them, I think, their second bowl win of all time.
Right.
So things are looking good under his watch. We'll see how that ends up going. Who else? Any other teams you want me to talk about?
I mean, okay, so I had a Sports Illustrated article. National headlines. I mean,
I think nationally,
Sports Illustrated had Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, and Oklahoma as the playoff teams.
So basically the same two teams, more or less, in the past 2 years.
Essentially, yeah. Yeah.
That's something getting very annoying, that it's basically the four same teams every year.
I still have an issue that there's two SEC teams, but...
That's the other thing. I mean, back in the 2018 National Championship, the one played in 2018, not the one for the 2018-19 season, Alabama, Georgia were the two teams, which is something we had hoped would not happen again, because something that really got a lot of this going was when LSU and Alabama played each other for the national championship. Everyone thought it was ridiculous that two teams from the same conference would be playing each other. I would love an 8-team playoff, Charles. I would love a 6-team playoff. 18 would be great because, let's be honest, the Power 5 are going to each want their own bid.
Right.
So do the Power 5 conference champions, the top group of 5 champion, kind of like what they're doing for the New Year's Six Bowls, but put them in the playoff.
Okay.
And then 2 wild cards, which
Yeah.
are basically the next 2 teams ranked.
Right.
And I think that's great for everybody.
I agree. Right, and I would think that that's another round of football. That's another round of advertisements. It's another round of money coming into the NCAA and advertisers and networks, and not the players, but that's a whole other story.
Right.
And the reason why we're playing a football game from 2009 instead of 2019.
2008. Or is it 2009? I think it's 08.
Whatever. But regardless, we're playing an old game, but that's another freaking topic about the college football
we
players.
We could do a whole episode on that.
Anyways, another round would be awesome. Be much more...
And a lot of the arguments for
interesting
a shorter playoff are debunked. Case in point, look at FCS. They have a full... I don't remember how many teams are in their playoffs.
Let me look it up.
20. And they do just fine.
Let me look it up. So...
yeah, BU, more or less, it's 24 teams.
24
so,
teams.
And they do just fine. There's no issue. And in some ways, the fact that they're doing fine is indicative of how fine FBS would be, because it's an unfortunate reality, but FCS teams have fewer resources than FBS teams. For example, LSU just did a $28 million renovation of their locker room.
Yeah.
What?
Seriously, look it up. $28 million is more than UCF will get in TV money over 4 years. And again, UCF...
Is that grant money or...
It's private donation.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I just went to Louisiana a couple days ago, and I was surprised at how much more LSU stuff I saw. Like, I barely saw New Orleans Saints stuff where I was at, but I saw a ton of LSU. So they make a crap ton of money.
They do. Fun fact: Nick Saban used to coach them.
Of course, yeah. He used to coach the Dolphins as well, but
that is true.
That didn't turn out very well at all.
So FCS teams, even the best ones like North Dakota State, they can't match the resources that even group of 5 teams get. Right now, UCF's TV deal is $2 million a year. It's getting bumped up to $7 million. Better those than Larry Culpepper. My favorite of those was the one where the 2 mascots of the opposing teams had almost like a Romeo and Juliet moment. I love you, I want to be with you, but we can't, we're on opposing teams. They're about to kiss, and then the girls' team scores, and she's like, yeah, in your face. It was fantastic. I love that commercial. Anyway, so I could talk ad nauseum about the playoff and all that jazz, but let me, I guess, real quickly, since we're kind of
almost halfway there.
We're almost halfway there.
Yeah.
Dr. Peppers are just dumb, period. It's why I avoid their product.
I just don't like Dr. Pepper, but, you know. I mean, not many people drink root beer anymore.
Some people do.
But I don't really see it often. I mean, I think our generation drinks less root beer than ever.
Could be.
Although it's a delicacy.
It's a
Mr. Pibb
it's an acquired taste. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Mr. Pibb is not as pretentious.
He's not a doctor.
I drink root beer too. BU. My root beer of choice is Barks, but that's mainly because it's the most prevalent. But I've had some good. I've had some other good root beer. Also, it is the best. It is the best float.
Oh, okay. I've never had a root beer float. I've never had one.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's sacrilege.
I've never had one. I don't know if it's like an American thing, but whatever. I've never had it.
I mean,
okay.
You lived in Miami for how long in your life, man?
Me? Miami?
Yeah. Or
probably all but
5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, well, U.S. like almost all my life, so 30
so
years.
You're an adult. You never saw many like root beer float.
I've never had I don't like root beer, so like, why would I like the float version?
Okay. Have you ever had cream soda?
Yeah, thank you.
I can't really know if I have.
I will let you pass on that.
I don't like
cream soda.
I've had the Frosties, like the Coca-Cola Frosty or the Slushies, whatever, Ices.
You can't. That's not comparable whatsoever.
Okay, all right.
So here's what we're gonna do. There's a Sam's Club down the road. One of these days, I'm going to take you to Sam's Club, because you can just buy an ice cream, and then just dump you can just fill up the cup with root beer. It's good ice cream. It's good root beer.
Okay, all right. I mean, sure.
I'm saying this out loud to our...
Do you hate America, Francisco? Is that it?
Well, I love America. I mean, I don't cheer for America when it comes to soccer or anything like that, because I don't care. But I am as patriotic as anyone. I've never had.
If you have a root beer float, it's been rumored at the right time of day on the outside, a golden bald eagle will land on your shoulders.
Okay.
Well, I know who my non-sponsor this week is going to be.
Okay, root beer float.
I guess I don't know.
You see, I've never had that. I'm looking at it. I've never had that.
I've
never
so simple.
had that.
It's so simple. It's vanilla ice cream plus root beer.
Okay.
Root beer float.
All right. So I've never had it.
I'm saying this to literally the world, because there are people apparently in Russia and Japan that listen to us. I'm saying this to the world. I, Andrew, am going to take you, Francisco, to get a root beer float at some point in the near future.
Okay. All right. And I will try it out, and I will either be deported or I will suddenly become eligible to run for presidency. One or the other.
Sometimes you can spike the soda as well if you're in need of a more adult beverage.
Okay.
I've had the adult or the alcohol ones. They're really good. Relish in Gainesville has one. Shout out to them.
There was a kid at my high school who spiked his Mountain Dew Code Red with some liquor.
Oh, was he a gamer?
I don't know.
If you're drinking Mountain Dew, you're a gamer. You know?
Especially Code Red. I guess the last.
Insert gaming violence joke.
Insert Walmart pulling gaming violent ads from their thing that will resolve the problems with. That's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole.
All right, guys, we are at the 1 hour mark just about now, and y'all know what that means. And let's pull it up here, and it is a word from our non-sponsors. I don't know why Angel Stadium of Anaheim popped up there, but so this is our. It's been a while. Since we did this, and we shout out to our favorite things and products and people and just general stuff that we've liked over the past. Well, usually it's over the past week, but I would say it's over the past month now. We've had a long time to think about it. I don't know who wants to go first.
Well, you told me on the way over that you had a pretty decent one. So
okay, so I'll start with me, and I'll just look up. Let's see. I'll see if I can find this frickin' law firm. All right, so I went to Louisiana yesterday, actually. Actually, a couple days ago, I landed in Louisiana, and it's Alexandria, Louisiana, and I had to drive to a place called Oakdale, Louisiana. I was staying at a Motel 6 because that's all they had over there in this small town, and it takes about 50 minutes from the airport to that town to get there. So I was driving along the way, and unfortunately, somewhere about 10 minutes before I got to my destination, a cop pulls me over, said I was speeding, said I was doing 12 miles over. I didn't know, I thought I was slowing down because I was on this frickin' highway and they keep changing the frickin' speed limit every 5 feet. So I wasn't sure, but I didn't make a fuss about it. I just took it. I was pissed off. Anyways, next day happens. I had to do whatever I had to do for work. And then I had about, let's say, 6 hours of downtime between my flight out and whatever I was doing. So I just started looking up traffic lawyers from Louisiana, trying to figure out how I could resolve this issue before I left the state, because I was not going to present myself in court in Louisiana. I was supposed to show up in October or something. Anyways, I look up a bunch of lawyers, and I can't find him here, but regardless, it was a lawyer in Shreveport, Louisiana. I called him up. I'm like, hey, I'm an attorney. I'm here for whatever, and I got pulled over. Blah 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 blah. And what is there anything you can do or whatever? Basically, they just told me, well, we normally charge like $500, but you're also an attorney. And I was like, I can give you my bar number if you want to look it up and everything. And they're like, no need. I'll just tell you what to do. He's like, Louisiana works on the good old boy system. If you're a nice southern gentleman, you go up there and you just be like, hey, I'm willing to pay the fine. Just don't let it show up on my insurance and on my driving record. And they'll lower the freaking violation. And I'm like, okay. So I drive over to the small town, go into their little town hall. And I was like, I did the thing. And lo and behold, it was exactly as he said it was, or she said it was. And I was like, oh, I was happy. I got my stuff taken care of. So my non-sponsor is whoever that attorney or in that attorney's office was. I don't know if it was the attorney or the assistant. Regardless, shout out to you. I don't know your name. I probably could look it up right now, and I don't have time to. But thank you very much. If you're in Shreveport, Louisiana, or in Louisiana in general, you go to that lawyer that I have not described in any specific manner, and they'll take care of you. So shout out to them. That's my non-sponsor. Who's next?
You want to go, Charles?
Yeah. So for everybody who knows me, when it's time to do my non-sponsor week, I tend to fall into the same thing that I'm hungry. And I was hungry early stage of them, but I had that appetite. I had that need, that void in the pit of my stomach taken care of, satiated, all the other big words I didn't pay attention in school because I'm like, you just say you're full. But I digress. I'm going to go a little local here. my non-sponsor week is Taco Shack and Stewart. Oh, oh. Me and my paralegal Derek, what we do is every payday we kind of rotate where we go to eat, but we always make sure to go once a month to go from there and get a chance to go in there, and they have variety. And yeah, you can get any
I
kind
just
of
pulled it
taco.
up right
You can
now.
get-
I just pulled it up.
prepare yourself. You can get any kind of taco, sure, but one of the best things about this place is novelty, gentlemen. It's not just the carne asadas, it's not just the chicken or the mahi mahi. You can have things called the cowboy, which has like onion rings, or not onion rings, but little tumbleweed onions. Beans are on there. Oh, what I always get, personal favorite, sticky chicken. It's like chicken tenders with jalapeno drizzle, little jalapenos. Guys, I get so excited every time they're there that I'm practically skipping there because it's right by my office. Probably a 5-minute walk. I can't say no to it. The quesadillas are pretty good, but I know what I want out of this bad boy. And on Taco Tuesdays for $9.99, let me tell you something. You only need 2 to be full, but you need 3 to be a fat ass. You need to treat yourself. If you're ever in the area,
I'm
find
looking.
yourself in the Treasure Coast. That's fine.
I'm looking at the photos that they have here, and I know they glam these up, but yeah, it looks freaking good. It's gourmet tacos. Gourmet tacos. No,
Boys.
like
They have a hot sauce bar. You can go tapatio if you want, or you can get habanero. And if you ain't a little Mexican, you can become a big fan of it after you're done eating at Taco Shack and Store.
okay, hold on. Let me look at their
Promo code Delicioso.
Look at their gnarly nachos, traditional Mexican, vegetarian, black bean. Huge.
Oh, we have the gnarly nachos today too. It's so good.
What they call huge kick-ass with 2 Z's quesadillas.
Kick-ass.
So it's technically not cursing in that sense. Cheese, chicken, pork, vegetarian. Okay, spinach, alrighty. And of course, they got specialty tacos, shack style. What's your favorite, Charles? What's?
It is the sticky chicken. The sticky chicken. If you could bring it up right there, I mean, I'll probably start eating my monitor. But it's their novelty. It's their novelty taco. Very good.
Medianoche carne asada. Oh, po' boy. Okay, cowboy, sticky.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't have a photo, unfortunately. But okay, fantastic.
My non-sponsor is the Florida Hotel at the Florida Mall in Orlando.
Okay, we're gonna bring that up. Another hotel.
I travel a lot. Not as much as you, but I've done a bit of traveling recently.
All right, at Florida Hotel Orlando.
And I want to give a side shout out to the Hampton Inn. And
So we lost connection there for a bit, but we are back. So, all right, continue. Florida Hotel.
yes, the Florida Hotel. It's directly connected to the Florida Mall, which is in Orlando, off of Sand Lake Road. Trying to look it up. It's tough to map out where it is exactly.
Okay, but
And now I'm getting network errors. I know BU. We had a network drop over here. Never mind. I'm gonna rate this ISP low on Fred Rank as well. So the 2 side shout outs. Oh, this is the first show I've done since I took the bar.
oh yeah, Doi.
Yes, so so the last time we were on the air, I was preparing for the MBE, or the Multi-State Bar Examination portion of the Florida Bar. That is the part of the exam that everyone does. Go ahead.
All right.
I'm on defense, so it doesn't really matter what I do. Ah.
Okay.
So I took the bar. It was, much to everyone's confusion, I actually had fun. I think a big reason why is because I've waited 2 years to take this thing. And through various reasons, I wasn't able to do it. But I finally got my chance so I was well prepared thanks to the wonderful people at FIU. Stockholm Syndrome is strong. So yeah, it was a very good experience. I had a lot of fun with it, surprisingly. The 2 hotels that I went to there, thanks to them, it was the Residence Inn and the Hampton Inn. Now I remember. But on to my actual non-sponsor. It is the Florida Hotel. Immediately after I took the bar, I was on my way up to Orlando because I had a speaking engagement Saturday. So the exam was Wednesday. I drove from there on Thursday, stayed one day on Friday over at my sister's place, stayed in the hotel Saturday, and then was on my way back to Miami on Sunday. That is a really nice hotel. Seriously, it is a very nice hotel.
They have a Shake Shack?
The Florida Mall does.
Oh, okay. But still.
It is seriously, it is directly connected to the Florida Mall. They have Lids, they have Shake Shack, they have Five Guys. It is a very nice mall. The Florida Mall is. I guess that's my non-sponsor is the Florida Mall. I enjoy going there. It was nice to walk around, kind of get a chance to decompress after the bar. I got myself some Five Guys, burgers and fries, with a nice Oreo milkshake to top it off. So that was very pleasant. I decompressed. I watched one of my favorite movies, The Hunt for Red October, up in the room, just eating my double cheeseburger with fries. That was a nice relaxation day for me.
Nice.
I deserve it.
Oh gosh, what did you do? Hold on. Charles, what did you do after you did the bar?
Cried. We went to the mixer, right? That he who should not be named out of me not getting sued for slander, always tells us, it's like, everything's fine. And all I got is, they gave me 2 damn tickets. And I just took something, because it was like, oh, we give you tickets to the bar or whatever. So I just had 2 tickets for 2 beers. And they're like, they put a limit to the misery that you feel because you just took something that not only did you just spend 2 months studying for, but which you based 3 years of your life selling your soul, basically. And in addition, your entire entry, I guess, from your bachelor. So let's talk about 7 years, right? Basically telling you, hey, if you fail this, everything's worse to you for the most part, because there's no guarantee you pass on next time. And all I had was this man say, hey, 2 beers, right? I'm like, I'm not a 2-beer Tony, bro. I'm like a 10-beer Trujillo. I need all the stuff I can get because you feel miserable. And I called my dad. I was sad. And the next day I was happy to be done with it. And I hated Tampa. I don't think I could ever go back to Tampa because I felt dirty being there. I hate their weird one-way streets that you always kind of have to go around. I ate wraps for 2 days. I was happy to go away from that negative environment. I will never take another bar exam because of it ever again. I'll go back to clerking or something like that, or stocking things, retail if I move.
Well, I've been to Tampa a couple times already since. So far. Oh gosh, we're crapping on Tampa in this non-sponsor segment.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you guys there. Even though I had a good time at the bar, Tampa's not that great. I much prefer Orlando.
No wonder the Rays are moving to Montreal. I'd rather be at Olympic Stadium. All right, Tampa, enough. That's fine. Your XFL team will probably win the championship. Watch. All right, so that's it for our non-sponsors for this week.
Yep.
And we shall move on. Oh, before we move on, you talked about Five Guys, and I just wanted, guys, your thoughts on the controversy between Popeyes and Chick-fil-A right now. I don't know which side you guys are on.
I have to withhold comment at this time because I have not had Popeye's chicken sandwich. I've
Okay.
actually never been to Popeye's. So.
Really? You've never been to Popeyes, and you're getting on me about not having a root beer float.
Well, Popeyes is not Americana, man, because the Colonel takes precedence.
Well, of course, yes. And I was just in Louisiana. I didn't have Popeyes. That's weird. But yeah, Popeyes is fine. It's its own variant on the fried chicken. You know, of course, they're number 2 to the Colonel, as Charles has said. I don't think Chick-fil-A sandwiches are as great as people think they are.
They are very good.
But I don't think they're as great as people think they are, to be honest. All right?
Okay, BU, you say correct answer is neither. What is the correct answer?
Then yeah, is it Wendy's tried to get in on this? I don't know if you all saw that. Wendy's tried to get in on this freaking argument here. Of course, we have to go to Review Bra if for the ultimate. Actually, he just made a video. I don't know if you guys know who Review Bra is.
I don't.
You don't know who Review Bra? Do you know who Review Bra is, Charles?
No, I do not.
All right, so we're gonna have to go back to our search screen here. Review Bra is a YouTuber. He's by the name of Review of the Week, but he is known affectionately as he's called Review Bra because he's the swollest guy in all the land. All right, so this is Review Bra. He has a Wikipedia article. He lives in Florida. BT Dubs. I don't know where in Florida. Probably somewhere around Central Florida. I would assume. And that's him. That's Review Bra. He is the swollest of guys. He is the manliest of men. He is a god amongst us. And he reviews fast food on YouTube. So anything that comes out from pizzas to tacos to burgers, he does it. And his style is so genuine that you will fall in love with him the instant that you see him. Okay?
Another guy that I like, or the only food reviewer I know really, is Dame Drops.
Okay.
He's famous for the Five Guys review that was songified by Shmo Yoho.
Damn.
So
damn.
this is his channel here. And he just posted a video on Popeyes vs. Chick-fil-A. He has both of them there, and he actually gives his review. I haven't seen it yet. Whatever the verdict is, basically that chain has to shut it down because this is the foremost authority on fast food. His fans make fantastic art of him, as you can see on the screen. Just all these photos here of him with Bigfoot. He is truly something special. He has his own podcast. He used to be on the shortwave radio, whatever. He used to actually do his own show on that. He's an old soul. He looks like a very young man, like in his early 20s, but he has a very old soul. He always wears a suit everywhere he goes. He wears a suit to frickin' McDonald's to buy whatever comes out from McDonald's that week. This is him cleaning his pool. He posted there, and I love the comments that people posted. I'm just going to give you a little snippet of it. You go watch his videos. His review of the Popeyes, I think the popcorn shrimp, is probably his most watched video because of his reaction to it. Thanks, Review Bra. Can't wait to meet you at Area 51. And one of the comments to him cleaning the pool is God cleaning the ocean, 2500 BC colorized. People revere this guy. And the reason he's called Review Bra is because he was on the bodybuilding.com, that forum. Those guys actually initially posted pictures in his videos because he's very scrawny, and they were making fun of his lack of muscle, and people he started finding out about it, but he embraced it so much that those guys embraced him. So now they called him Review Bra because he is a bra, and they actually refer to him as incredibly muscular and a very well. He's just a great guy. So that's a huge aside, but watch Review Bra. NFL.
I'm gonna let you guys take this discussion a bit. 'Cause
Okay.
Like I said earlier, I really couldn't care less about, or I could care less, just not much.
Okay, my storylines for NFL. One, is this the year that Tom Brady finally declines? He's in the last year of his contract. And I would assume the Patriots are just going to do it like the way the Sharks are doing with Joe Thornton and going on a year-by-year basis from here on out.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots, what looks like it'll be, they will win the division because, surprisingly, the New York Jets, the Buffalo Bills, and the Miami Dolphins all have sophomore quarterbacks at the helm this season. Even though likely the Dolphins will start out with Fitzpatrick. But why do we trade for Josh Rosen if we're not going to test him out and see if he can handle it, even though our offensive line is going to be crap, and it could just be a repeat of his experience in Arizona. But that's one of my storylines. What about you, Charles?
I mean, there's a lot, man. I mean, I'll jump onto your storyline. How about that?
Okay, cool, and then we'll get through it.
If you yeah, because we can tan this out. So the thing is, we talk about Brady, and it's not so much of Brady doesn't have it. Brady uses it in the proper system. Now I know it's kind of easy to just say, hey, there's a system. Because in theory, nothing is a system. Everything's just scheming, game planning. But your system can change when you actually have different kind of high-quality players. Back in 2007, for several years prior, Brady was a very dink-and-dunk kind of offense guy who just threw Ben Watson down the middle a little bit. Then they got Randy Moss, Dante Stallworth, Julian Edelman, and then he blew up. You are what...
Oh, I get to celebrate. You get
the card.
I get to celebrate. Don't stop. There's a hot dog on screen. Thank you. Oh, there's a grill. And what did I get? Oh, I've evened out the score. Okay, so you don't have a super unfair advantage for some reason, I guess. All right, let's do it. All right, sorry, Charles. I had to celebrate there real quick.
No, you're good.
But
so
yeah,
everything's different. So what does Brady have this year? He's got a Josh Gordon who is going to slip up the moment he goes to a house party. Calling it right now. You know, and I understand Josh Gordon is an addict. And I'm not crapping on anybody who has an addiction. What I'm saying is that the money that you're paying me in a professional football league is so insurmountable to which I can give up the goods for a while. You know, I don't know if he's taking the right path to get the healing that he needs, or I don't think the NFL has offered him enough options, because sometimes you can't just solve the problem by just suspending a guy.
right.
But you have to at least try to put up a good fail-safe for the guy if you keep conditionally reinstating him. And let's be honest here, the only reason why Josh Gordon has had like 6 chances to make it work, because he has gotten a lot more, because, you know, here's the thing about Roger Goodell. He kind of hates people who use his drugs. And when we say drugs, pot, it's not even as if he's pulling a Tyreek Evans who's like doing effing heroin, speed in the NBA world. That's intense.
Right.
You know, Gordon has a minute. I like drink, I like smoke. So, you know, Roger Goodell feels uncomfortable for it.
Yeah, he's not the worst guy in the world, you know? In relative terms to NFL players, actually, a term that I wanted to coin. Okay, so me and Andrew are coming up on the elevator here. They just renovated, or I guess remodeled our elevators in the building, and I told them that there weren't any Ray Rice cameras, and that's a term that I want to become an industry standard for all elevators.
Hot take 101. Roger Goodell likes domestic violence. And the reason why Roger Goodell likes domestic violence is because he could bring in these strong policies, and then the owners would get supportive of it, and it makes it seem like the NFL is making a movement.
Gosh.
But yeah, you have a black guy.
Look what he's doing with freaking Jay-Z right now. I mean, come on.
That's tough too. But you bring in a guy, and I'll say that, you bring in a young African American who comes from a different background, and who likes, out of all illegal drugs, and you can't see me, but I'm doing quotation marks, illegal drugs, marijuana, I don't think he's a danger.
Right.
I don't think he should get suspended. And if you're bringing back all the signs, you should probably help this young man out.
Right. And
saying it, Roger Goodell could sue me. I don't care.
that'd be that'd be funny if you get served one day. You're being served by Roger Goodell for
Vince McMahon
for slander or something.
Vince McMahon will pay, and he knows I will hype up the XFL.
Oh, that'd be freaking cool. I'm gonna meet you at the frickin' where's Tampa gonna play? Do they know the stadiums that they're
I
gonna
think
play?
it's at Raymond James.
They're gonna play at Raymond James?
Mm-hmm.
Are you for real?
Yep.
Wow. I thought they'd be playing like at Tropicana Field or something.
I don't think so.
Or USF Stadium.
Which is Raymond James Stadium.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that's right. They do share. Okay. I guess it's a tenant. It's a couple extra dates they're not going to use that field for, right?
That's true.
So might as well take the money. They're not going to directly compete with the Bucks, so why not, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, we got on a huge aside. So back to the Patriots.
Okay, so bringing it back. He has new weapons to go with, but there might not be a Josh Gordon. We don't know about his health thing. I don't know who your starting running back is, because Sony Michel is a good running back. However, now you have Damian Harris from Alabama, but they'll have it. I don't know if he falls down, because if he turns out healthy and he has a consistent team, mind you, he has a lot less because no Gronk, and that's a big issue. But granted, Gronk's injured throughout 5 games each season anyway. But if there's a downfall, if there's a below 500, if there's no...
I don't see it this season,
because injuries happen. But that's the injury bug that comes in. Who knows? Brady pops his shoulder, out for 5 games. We don't know. He's never really had that big injury since he tore his ACL.
I would still... I don't know who the Patriots' backup is.
Brian Hoyer and then Jarrett Stidham.
Okay. I still don't see... If, let's say, Brady, once again, like in 2008, where he got injured week 1.
Yes.
I still think the Patriots system, as you said, it would be able to carry a backup quarterback, or they could just pick somebody off the scrappy for the free agency who's decent. They can call Jay Cutler if they want. I still think it would be enough to carry them over the Jets, the Bills, and the Dolphins. So
correct.
But I am just hoping for... Well, Brady has declined, but once again, you made the point. The Patriots system masks his decline. Bill Belichick has created something wonderful and awful at the same time.
You got to respect it.
Oh, yeah.
Because it goes to show that even when you're at your most depleted, you can still succeed with discipline. And that's what he loves disciplined players. And he really does have the most disciplined guys.
Yeah.
And he benefits from being in the AFC East, but people forget that there was a time where the AFC East at least had some contention with the Mark Sanchez Jets. I mean, they're not fantastic games, but they went to 2 AFC championships over it, and they survived that. They're like cockroaches with the Patriots. They survived the nuclear blast, and they ruled the day. And they succeed.
Yeah. And there's actually a great SB Nation video of the collapse of those New York Jets after those 2 AFC championship appearances. Mm-hmm. And you have to watch it.
So let me ask you a fantastic question we're going to go over here. But with the Jets, Jet fans like to hold on to the past, like it's the girlfriend who's going to come back into his lives. If Mark Sanchez did not get the butt thumper, would more blame have gone to their failures to Rex Ryan? Because I really feel like Rex Ryan does not get enough of the blame in the Jets' demise. Because Mark Sanchez literally had a prototypical image of a grown man getting a butt to the face that not a lot of people look for on YouTube. Because you go on YouTube, you better be careful what you see about man slamming faces to butt. But I feel like Mark Sanchez is not. His career is over. He's just another guy who had a couple highs and a couple lows. But I feel like he became the ultimate scapegoat because of the butt fumble, and we forget that Rex Ryan kind of didn't know what he was doing after the fact. He was the guy saying Geno Smith's the dude, but we're going to put Mark Sanchez in the 4th quarter with that very inept offensive line that led to his injury, that led you to going to Geno Smith and be that starter.
All right, I have now increased my stats over Andrew in this game. due to my touchdown and my wonderful dance moves.
He was doing like a real boogie breakdown.
Oh yeah, I had to get into it. Okay, so back to the Jets. Oof. No, you have to watch that video because it explains exactly what was the downfall of those Jets. And you can't really blame Mark Sanchez, and you can't even really blame Rex Ryan, to be honest.
Woody Johnson then?
No, the GM of the Jets.
They got before Mike McCagnon. I'm trying to remember his name. Oh, it was a Tannenbaum.
Of course. There you go. Mike Tannenbaum, who...
Tannenbaum gets the love for saying that he knows how to do salary cap, but yet he puts all the money in the wrong players.
Well, because it's not his money to spend. So, well, it's his money to spend, but it's not his money that he's spending. So he goes freaking crazy with it. And lo and behold, what happened to the Jets? Lo and behold, what happened to the Dolphins? He's just an awful football person. And plain and simple. Okay. But the Jets had a missed opportunity, and I think Tannenbaum was to blame for all of it. Okay, so let's see. Out of the AFC East, what's another? Okay, AFC South. AFC South, with your division. Since we already talked about my division, and I didn't talk about the Dolphins because we're gonna. Oh, another interception. I'm pretty darn sure if I return the segment called "The Dolphins Are Terrible," it'd just be every week. So I'm not gonna do that. Dolphins are gonna be bad. I just hope Josh Rosen shows something.
Here's the thing. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
I am not a Josh Rosen guy. I watched him play at UCLA. He didn't impress me. I felt it was a big reach from Arizona to draft him anyway. And look, they're not good at picking quarterbacks, because if they would have already had the heir apparent two parts in Palmer, because Kyler Murray doesn't impress me either, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So Josh Rosen showed kind of like, I think what happens is analysts don't like to be impolite. So they'll make an excuse for a guy who's getting beat up and come back on, throws picks. He's got moxie. Yeah, he throws picks, but he's not shaking. He's not letting that bad offensive line get to him with that 300 pounds out. He's got moxie. I'm like, nah, he still kind of sucks, because you can always throw the ball away. So yeah, you might have had inclinations, but that's you being an astute quarterback. No. So I personally think, based off the resume, even though Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to have 4 weeks of great success and then destroy your season, you at least know you might have a chance to win your game, even with Ryan Fitzpatrick, a single game. Because obviously Josh Rosen couldn't win a single game at all in Arizona. Keeping that in mind, Francisco, and he had Larry Fitzgerald and Chris Creek. He might not have had the offensive line, but he had better receivers. What makes you think he's going to be able to be a better quarterback with the best receiver that he has is maybe Kenny Stills? I'm gonna do a hot take right now. Kenny Stills is gonna be on the Dolphins. They're gonna trade him.
Oh yeah,
him and the Ross issue that's got going on.
Well, Stephen Ross and did you hear about what happened with Brian Flores, and they played all the Jay-Z songs afterwards? Because Kenny Stills made a comment that Jay-Z should have talked to the guys who were kneeling before he went to the NFL to get their thoughts on the stuff, and then Brian Flores played like 8 Jay-Z songs in a row in the locker room because he chooses the music.
They're bangers, man. You can't say no to that.
Well, but once again, it's another example of the Dolphins being in the news for the wrong reason. Yeah. So
Bills isn't Flores' guy, man.
Yeah, I mean, of course Flores comes from the Belichick system where, shut up and do your work, type of thing. So, but of course, I don't think Belichick would have even done that, in a sense. So,
especially since, Belichick is kind of a social advocacy guy. He's just really quiet about it.
Yeah, so, he probably just would have grumbled about it, and then it's like, okay, next question. So the Dolphins in the news for the wrong reasons, and of course I made the comment on our Twitter handle that they should just move the team to Quebec already, because they've just been awful. Anyways. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Josh Rosen.
Josh Rosen. Kenny Stills before he was going to get traded.
And it's going to be pretty sad because Kenny Stills has been. Oh wow, that actually worked. Kenny Stills has actually been a pretty darn good player for the Dolphins. So
He's been involved in the community. Remember, one of the things about being a player with the community for a team that stays for a long time is that you're endearing, and that's what makes the fan base like you. And the Dolphins don't have a lot of guys who want to be there and stay through there, and everybody who is there for a while, they want to trade away in Dominic and Sue. But Stills has kind of at least been the best light of your offense that hasn't found himself out there aside from, a Jay Ajayi kind of guy, who opened his mouth too many times and he suffered from the Adam Gase situation.
And he won a Super Bowl afterwards, so,
Yeah. But now he's not going to be a starter anywhere because no one's going to want him because he's busted goods.
He got his rings and he got his, he got out of the Dolphins. I think that's a win for most players. And that's why a lot of Dolphins fans are afraid of Ryan Tannehill suddenly turning his career around. Once again, we're back to the AFC South. What's your predictions for the division?
It's the Chargers. It's the Colts to lose. Assuming
Really?
Andrew Luck
So
hurt. Yeah.
you don't think the Texans... I mean, I know the Texans perennially choke every year in some sense. But...
So, okay, there's the Jadeveon Clowney issue where he might hold out. So you take away your second best pass rusher aside from J.J. Watt. You don't really have an established second wide receiver, and it hurt a lot in the playoffs against the Colts because everybody just double, triple team Duke Hopkins, and Demaryius Thomas tore his Achilles, and then Will Fuller, their first round pick from a few years back, was unavailable because he's always injured. He's expected to be injured again. And then your other guy, Kiki Cutie, I don't know what his name is. It's Kiki. For the sake of keeping it PG, he's Kiki to me.
Okay.
He ain't riding because he's injured again. And you have Lamar Miller and Duke Johnson, and Duke Johnson was just traded for, so he's going to need a couple weeks to learn that playbook, and I think that's what people forget. You trade right before preseason a pivotal role player or midseason, they got still learn a playbook, man. It's not like basketball, like, give me the ball, I shoot threes. So I think that hurts. Plus, the Colts only got better with the draft. They got, Devin Punch 1 year. They can see what he's doing as the number 2, the T.Y. Hilton. Eric Ebron's expected to repeat. The defense has gotten a little bit better. I still think they should throw money at Le'Veon Bell, but what do I know? They think Marlon Mack and Naheem Hines is the right guys. That's their dude. Sure, go ahead and do it.
I mean, I think a lot of teams are hesitant throwing a ton of money at running backs. So,
But it's weird because they want to throw a lot of money, but there's just a small gap between certain guys, such as the Melvin Gordon situation.
Okay. Yeah.
But Le'Veon Bell is better than Melvin Gordon. Le'Veon Bell, and we're not even, because here's the thing. I'm going to say it, hot take number 2 or 3 of the night. A lot of people base off the greatness of a player because they play fantasy football, and that's all they value a guy as, and especially with running backs. But you look at seeing all done it all, you have Todd Gurley, Alvin Kamara, and then I won't say Zeke because the problem with Zeke is he always gets in trouble, so screw him. He's a good player, but he has some limitations. And then you have Le'Veon Bell, who literally they do it all, man. They're like the second best receiver on your team, and then in addition, they're like your leading rusher. It's a usage situation, and it's a how much they actually contribute to their team. And then you look at Texas, they don't have that. And maybe Indy could have done, but Indy was dominant because they told Andrew Luck, hey, throw it all the time. Mind you, that's if Andrew Luck, the Admiral, is healthy. If not, they got to go with
Isn't it the captain?
He's a captain. He's Captain Andrew.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Captain Andrew.
The Admiral is David Robinson.
That's fair. But we have certain things. But I think Colts just, they'll take it. 11-5 maybe. I don't like to be cute with it. And then with the tight ends, it's just we don't know because if Mariota's injured, at least we have.
Do you think? Okay, Mariota question. Is this make or break year?
Yeah, but here's the thing about make or break years. You think about the make or break year, you would have to kind of pick up his 5th-year option. Who do you have that's going to be available next year? Because here's going to be the problem. If anything, we finish in the middle of the pack.
Oh, that's very much what could happen with Ryan Tannehill as the backup.
Correct. So we finish in the middle of the pack. What are we going to do? Throw money at Ryan Tannehill? I'd rather not.
That's what the Dolphins did for 7 years.
Because here's the thing. You pray that Marcus Mariota at least shows up to be an above-average quarterback, because if he takes us to another 9-7 or 10-6 record and he's healthy throughout the season, maybe misses 1 or 2 games, but the wins are produced from his production, then we're okay. We redo it, maybe a short-term contract, 2-year, 3-year extension. if it's not, and let's say Mariota only wins us like 5 games, and then Ryan Tannehill healthy and confident, because he is a confident quarterback when healthy, he sometimes slows down badly, but I think that was a production of the talent around him, and Adam Gase just doesn't care. And he wins you 5 additional games, then you got to kind of split the baby. And I don't want to give Ryan Tannehill a lot of money because you don't know how reliable this is. And I don't want to give Marcus Mariota a lot of money, but you end up finishing like 8-8, 9-6, or 7-9, 6-10. You have to basically give a king's ransom that ironically, the Eagles gave the Titans. Am I correct in that one, or is it the Rams? The Rams gave to the Titans when the Titans had the first round pick, first pick in the draft, to get a top 5 or top 3 quarterback, I guess. And here's the truth: if you don't get that first, second, or third quarterback, they're usually in the top 10. You're out of luck, man.
You get to celebrate this time. Hold on. Wait, hold on. I think you have to get the extra point before you celebrate.
No. Well, anyway.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so all right, so okay, if Mariota's healthy, 9-7, 10-6, you would say.
I mean, it's the same record we had last year. That's with Blaine Gabbert. And part of the reason why getting Ryan Tannehill was like, Blaine Gabbert shouldn't even be in the league. I know Blaine Gabbert should sue me. Everybody else is in the line, including Roger Goodell. But you couldn't win the primetime game. All you had to do was beat the Colts on that Week 17, and you just kind of like crap the bed. Hell, at least make it competitive and then lose. But I remember where I was that day. I was at Castaways, which will probably be a non-sponsor at some point. I'm with my buddy. I'm there for 1 quarter, and I'm just seeing dink and duck throws and then overthrows. I'm like, this is done. I'm out. And then we lost. It wasn't competitive. It was sad.
Oh gosh. All right. So that's AFC South. Let's go to the AFC North.
Everybody. Okay. Hot take number 4.
Ooh.
I really want Cleveland to lose. I was about them last year just because I don't want a team to be terrible forever. But this overconfidence of Baker Mayfield, plus Baker Mayfield, make me have to agree with Colin Cowherd, and for that reason, it's unforgivable. I need to tank completely now.
I want the Browns to succeed because it'd be fun to see them actually good for once. I don't want them to win it all or win the Super Bowl. That's too crazy.
But the betting odds, man, the betting odds are Browns and Bears, I believe.
Yeah,
and
something like that.
Because you think, you have a new head coach. And listen, head coaches are head coaches, right? Freddie Kitchens is probably going to instill the same kind of concepts and philosophies that the guy he replaced or worked under with Greg Williams and Hugh Jackson. He's going to say, hey, don't suck like Hugh Jackson. And then be aggressive the way Greg Williams was to get us there. So maybe there's that. But you got to remember, okay, Odell Beckham Jr. is maybe a generational player. But how many wins does he really take you? Does he take you from a team that was 7-8-1
I get to celebrate.
7-4? Not really.
All right, hold on. Give me 1 second to do a little shimmy.
Do your dance. Do your muscle man dance.
Bring it around town. Oh gosh, Andrew is recording me. Probably gonna post that on Instagram. All right, so I would so love the Browns to be. It's kind of like the way I feel about the Jets when they hype themselves up so much and then it all falls apart. Like, I want them to succeed, but at the same time, I want them to be awful. So it'd be so Browns to be like, this is like the one year you think they'd be good, and then they just lose to the Steelers once again. That'd be fun.
I got the idea. I know how to do this. Tiebreaker Week 17 game between them and what other else team, and then they lose it in overtime.
Let me look up their final. Let's look up their schedule real quick.
Because that would just be the icing on the cake.
Because we can kind of predict where they would go. Let's say, well, we can't really. Let's see, Cleveland. Nope, not Cleveland Clinic. Cleveland Browns schedule. All right, so we've got preseason. Who cares? Week 1, you guys are against the Titans. Let's see. All right, so week 1, Titans. Week 2, Jets. That's probably a win. Week
Yeah.
3 against the Rams.
Nah.
Against the Ravens.
Nah,
49ers with Garoppolo now back.
they win that.
Yeah, they probably win this. The Seahawks.
Nah.
The Patriots. Nope. I would think not. The Denver Broncos.
Yep.
Yeah. The Bills. Yep. The Steelers.
Nah, we'll split it maybe.
You think they'd split? Okay. The Dolphins definitely. Another game against the Steelers. Once again, split. The Bengals. Yeah, I could see them beating the Bengals twice. The Cardinals. I would say a yes as well.
Yep.
And the Ravens. I would say they'd split against the Ravens.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think they could probably pull this off. If their division is as close as it could be, maybe it'd just be like they'd probably be the only division representative, or they could sneak in as a wild card. But we'll see. Maybe if their first, let's say, 3 games are all right, if they go, first 4 games. If they go 3-1, they're a shoo-in. They're a shoo-in. The 1 against the Rams, and then 3 wins against the Jets, Titans, and Ravens. Alrighty. So, all right. So now AFC West.
Melvin
This is the
Gordon's
one with the
story,
Raiders,
that's the
right?
biggest thing. Yes, and Antonio Brown too. So we have 2 stories to talk about.
What happened?
I said, is this the Raiders division?
Yes, it is.
So I want you guys to talk about Antonio Brown.
You want to talk about Antonio Brown and his helmet?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because and it's of course Drew Rosenhaus is his agent, and that's a horrible pass. Drew Rosenhaus is his agent, who was famously the agent of Terrell Owens.
So basically, any divas,
Which are technically most
wide receivers.
superstar wide receivers are divas. So, I don't see what the big deal is. It's a helmet. It's just a piece of equipment. He may have some sort of sentimental value to it. But I would assume that you'd want to upgrade to the new stuff, because it's probably better. And the reason why they won't let him do it is because the new one's supposedly much safer and a bunch of other crap that the NFL does. I know they have their one helmet policy and stuff, but it's just a helmet. They're going to tailor it to your head anyways. What's the big deal? I don't see it. I think it'll get resolved. Oh, well, then that works out for me. Oh, whoa, that doesn't work out for me. And now you're further back.
Yes.
It didn't work out for you at all, actually. It'll get resolved. There's no way he's going to retire over this. If he does,
That would be so stupid.
he's leaving what? I think he's leaving like $30 million or something on the table.
35.
$30 million guaranteed.
Yeah. So, no way. He's just bringing attention to himself because he's a wide receiver. Don't know what else to say about it.
I got 2 things to put in there. One, ironically, it's not league-wide accepted because you know who doesn't like the new helmets but isn't making a big stir? Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
He had gone on the record saying he's not
I think
a big
Aaron
fan
Rodgers,
of it, but
too.
he'll accept it. Well, Aaron Rodgers complains about it. The thing about Antonio Brown, he's saying that for some reason it affects him catching the ball. And in my mind, I'm just thinking maybe it's the fact that you have a new quarterback who isn't as accurate as Ben Roethlisberger as the reason why he can't catch the ball, but I digress. I just wonder, here's the thing. I don't want to say that, I understand the health issues that playing football creates, but Antonio Brown was kind of a quiet guy for like the first 7 to 8 years of his career. So in my head, hot take number 5, is there some brain damage going on with the guy? Just saying, from the football, one too many hits in the head, and just blow up in this kind of prima donna kind of behavior. Food for thought. It's speculation. I don't know. Maybe it was how he always was.
Well, I don't know. It might be. He might have gotten, his ego might have grown, or I don't know if he was originally with Drew Rosenhaus or something like that. Maybe it's just having an agent like that. It's like how Don King ruined Mike Tyson. It could be the same thing.
He did ruin Mike Tyson.
Yeah, no, he did ruin Mike Tyson. I'm just saying it might be the same thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
even though Drew Rosenhaus didn't really ruin, well, kind of sort of ruined T.O. I mean, if he, told him to quell his attitude a bit, maybe the Eagles would have been successful when he went to when he went over there. But that's a whole other thing. And of course, SB Nation has a beef history video about T.O. and Donovan McNabb, which is really nice for you to watch. And once again, I keep shouting out SB Nation because I used to write for them. Anyways, next. All right, so AFC West, I honestly don't really know much about. I mean, the Chargers are.
Melvin Gordon's the only one with holdouts, and
Yeah.
here's a good question because I'll take the reins on this one. You parallel Melvin Gordon, who's in the final year of his contract, wanting to hold out for like $6 million, versus Zeke Elliott with the Cowboys wanting to hold out. And here's the difference for me: Zeke Elliott still has 2 years on his contract. Melvin Gordon has a year left. If you care about safety and guaranteed money and everything like that, you have your NFLPA rep handle it, and you have your agent handle it, and you have the CBA handle it. Because this is what happens when you're ushered into a league for players who are part of an organization who are doing things for the future, but they keep CBAs for too long, and you don't know what's actually good for the next generation of guys coming in. Melvin Gordon, I get the holdout. He's going to get money somewhere, even though his statistics are more because he was forced to spend the ball a lot. Versus, Zeke Elliott, who's going to hold out, hurt himself, going to have his free agency tacked on another year, not get what he wants, and then come back looking humble and bad.
Yeah. An interesting thing I wanted to see for BU, what he's interested in with the AFC West is how the Raiders are going to be received in their final season before they move out to Vegas. That'll be interesting. Because I haven't really I was in San Francisco, but that's not Oakland, so I don't know what and I'll do a kind of more, now I'm not going to celebrate, I'm not showboating in front of Andrew here, because I'm winning by a lot here, so, I got one little thing in the face, there you go. I think...
Just be happy that they're gone.
I think it'll be bad. It might be akin to when Cleveland left for Baltimore.
Yeah, I can see it.
Because
I would just...
Oakland's they've lost the Warriors. The Warriors are moving to San Francisco.
Correct.
And all they have are
the Athletics one day.
Well, I think the A's are staying because they're gonna have a stadium all to themselves. Oakland's probably gonna build one for them, because they'll be the only team that was willing to stay. And the A's have done a lot of rooted in Oakland. I think that's their motto for this season. So it's very much an Oakland pride thing, because they're going to be the only team in town. So I think Oakland fans are not going to... I don't think it'll be like when the Raiders moved to and then left L.A., and LA still has a ton of Raiders fans. I think I would say it would just be like the Browns leaving for Baltimore, because the Raiders left once and now they're leaving again, and they're leaving now, and I don't think they're going back. So Oakland is essentially just going to lose their football team, and they're not going to get another one back. So that's a whole generation of people that, LA had two teams, the Raiders and the Rams. The Rams were there longer. The Raiders were there, they won a Super Bowl. The Raiders won a Super Bowl in Oakland. It's going to hurt a lot for those people that's just generations of fans that already had one move, getting a second one now, and now it's much more social media stuff. It's all going to be put under a microscope, and I think the reception is going to be bad. When the Browns left, or when the Chargers left San Diego, same thing. I think it'll just be that reception, screw you guys, we're leaving. You guys can just go. All right, we'll have the A's, and hopefully that's good news for the A's, because they have a darn good baseball team. Don't have the revenue because of their stadium and stuff like that. tear down the Coliseum, play a couple seasons out in San Francisco, go back on their brand new stadium on the plot. Or no, tear down the Oracle Arena since the Warriors aren't going to be there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Build the new baseball stadium there, and then tear down the Coliseum afterwards, make it a parking lot. There's the A solution right there. Boom. That was an aside for baseball. Speaking of baseball, and we're about to come to the end of the show here. Last 5 minutes. We'll talk about the NFC next week. All right, we'll leave the NFC next week because especially with the Cowboys, there's a lot of talk about them. Always in the news. I just want to run through the baseball scores real quick. The Marlins are once again getting spanked by the Braves. We hate Ronald Acuna for some reason, and now I hate him because he's a douche, and he's freaking keeps hitting against us. So thus he is a douche. The Milwaukee Brewers are winning 5-0 against the Cardinals, and they keep flip-flopping back and forth between that division, the Central, NL Central. The Cubs are winning 6-2 against the Giants right now. The Angels up 7-4 on the Rangers, but that game doesn't matter. Neither does the Orioles versus the Royals. The Nationals are destroying the Pirates right now. And, so any thoughts about baseball before we go, guys? Little League World Series, but we can get to that next week.
Well, it'll be over by next week.
Well, we can recap it afterwards.
All right. Well, I just want to let everyone know who's remaining. Just 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So the teams remaining are, from the U.S. side of things, are the Southeast, which is out of Virginia, the West, which is out of Hawaii, and the Southwest, who is out of Louisiana. The winner of the West-Southeast game, which is going on right now, if you want to look up the score and see what's going on, it should be close to over at this point.
I'm looking.
The winner automatically advances to the U.S. Championship, which will be on the 24th, so in 3 days. And the loser of this game will face the Southwest. The winner of that game advances to the U.S. final. Meanwhile, over in the international bracket, the remaining teams are Japan, and they have advanced since they won today against Asia Pacific, which I think is Taiwan this year. So because they lost that game, they are facing the Caribbean, which this year is Curacao.
Mm-hmm.
The winner of that South Korea, thank you. South Korea is Asia Pacific this year. So they are facing Curacao tomorrow. The winner of that game faces Japan. The winner of the U.S. Championship and the winner of the International Championship go on to play in the final, which is on the 25th. The losers of those championship games will play for third place. So that's just a brief look at what's going on. Do you have the score up?
Well, I've got the first two games from today. The Southwest 4-1 and Japan 7-2.
Let me see.
And then I've got it's just the schedule that they have on the Little League World Series website.
Scroll
here.
up, he says.
So yeah, West it's 9-8. Dear Lord, in the top of the fourth.
Who's winning?
West.
Damn.
West over the Southeast. It's the fourth inning though.
I know, but it's six innings.
Yeah, I know, but it's a barn burner.
I know.
They might as well be playing at Coors Field.
But it's a bummer though, because the first two games that Virginia has done, that's who's representing as Virginia, have been no-hitters. So this goes from a no-hitter to giving up 9 runs.
Yeah. Okay.
Hopefully they win, because I'd like to see Virginia or the Southeast go into the finals.
Right.
Last time that the Southeast won was Warner Robins, Georgia, back in 2007 on a walk-off home run. Which is, I remember watching that. I was very excited because I've lived basically in the Southeast my entire life, so I represent the Southeast.
Okay. Any baseball thing you want to talk about, Charles, before we head out?
I'll just say this: I really, really hope that Luis Severino comes back for the Yanks and does something, because our pitching is atrocious. We're playing Oakland tonight, and it's really weird because I need them to actually beat us, because I do not want to see the Rays in the playoffs as a wild card.
Really?
Hey, strategy, man. You pick the poison that you have. We think we can hit dingers on those guys, but the Rays are going to get back. I think Glasnow's actually back, the former leader of the AL ERA. And they have Blake Snell, who is a very good pitcher.
Defending Cy Young winner.
You know, pitching always wins at the end of the day, guys. So if you're telling me the possibility of playing Oakland and guys who I can't even name on that team as their starting rotation versus 2 of the top 3 and probably all the AL teams not named Houston,
I think the Rays have the best ERA, right?
Correct.
In the American League.
I believe so too.
Yeah.
So you tell me which one to mess with. Because for me, as far as I'm concerned, all the trades that Houston did, I welcome it. I love it. That means you had to get better to beat us because you know you couldn't do it. So that's why you got to get Zach Greinke. But the Rays, you know, there's that sneaky confidence of facing the same team many times throughout the season that you become accustomed to their whole rotation.
Alrighty. I guess, yeah, and I'll save my stuff for next week, guys. So thank you for joining us for this football extravaganza, even though we ended on baseball.
Yeah.
We're about to...
Actually, since...
Oh, you want to finish the game?
Just for some closure, I'm just going to run out the clock here.
Okay, perfect.
On an absolute blowout.
I will try not to tackle you.
Oh, by the way, my dog is here, so anyone who hears the roofing... Wow, I had one of my best plays, and I just scrambled at the quarterback.
All right.
No, it's okay.
All
right, one last play, basically.
Here we go. And I'll be in El Paso next week.
Ooh.
So I'll tell you all about that trip. I am plan on attending a Chihuahuas game. I checked their schedule. I get in on a Sunday. They play that night.
Ooh.
And I really hope I can go watch them.
Speaking of Chihuahuas.
And that's it. So I won the game, but that's not all that important. The important thing was that you guys joined us for this. So we'll promote it, whatever. Chop up this
the
video.
Start of season 2 of
Exactly.
Sports Goofs.
So we'll hopefully have a regular schedule, but that all depends on our schedules. But thank you all for joining me, Charles and Andrew, of course, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Take care.
Drive home safely.